Hi there, Angel here, Mystic Monarch. Today we're going to do a reading about what needs healed. So I'm going to basically jump right in. I'm going to pick some decks here while I let you know that the purpose of this channel is really to help support you when you're going through growth and healing and transformation in your life. And I want to encourage, shed some light and some love toward you to help you go through. Our first card is Gratitude has the power to pull you out of a dark place, and today I am grateful for. Okay, variance. We'll explain what some of these are in a minute. And alignment, and that was reversed. So, all right. How about one of these guys? I hope you're all doing well today. Oh, self-love in reverse. Okay, so what needs healed? That's starting to come clear. And there's one more of these in here somewhere. I know it. I have other videos. Your feedback is much appreciated. Help me understand which direction to go with these videos. That'll be most useful to you guys right now. Oh, okay. Got a few. Home. How teachable are you? And love. And this was in the reverse. We'll put that over here on the struggle side. And we got self-love and love. And finally, let's throw some of these. Your heart knows the way on here. Oh. Surrender to your soul. Your soul is magnetic. And walk each other home. And we got two homes here. Okay, I'm getting the feeling that this has to do with maybe some issues about given to you from your family. Forgive the unforgivable. That's in reverse. And I'm also feeling this could have to do with a friendship, a deep friendship. I'm not necessarily sensing that it's romantic, although it could be with a partner. It might just be about your friend, your dynamic, not necessarily about the romantic side of the relationship, but about how you guys interact or how you're maybe feeling in this relationship, based on maybe some family of origin wounds. So let's take a look here. So gratitude was our main card. It looks like maybe something that needs to be healed is maybe forgiving the self or forgiving someone else. How teachable are you? I'm feeling like when we go through difficult times in our life, we have the choice to be a victim or to overcome it. And in that initial wounding, when your heart is broken, and I'm kind of getting the sense that this is something that happened over a period of time, maybe when you were younger, you just kind of stay in this broken-hearted mode sometimes, or start to think that that's what you can expect from life. When we're kids, we don't have control over our surroundings. We're pretty much at the mercy of the people that we depend on who have charge of us. And I feel like some of you listening might be younger, I don't know, but for the younger ones, that time doesn't last forever. That will change. You will not always be under the thumb of anyone. There's always responsibilities and stuff in life, but at some point you get your autonomy and your independence, and you get to make choices for your own life. And for those of you that aren't young, maybe you've been in a situation where you still haven't felt like you've had control over your life, but you still make choices. You just don't realize that you're making them. And oftentimes, if the operating program is bugged, you'll be making these choices feeling like you have to, or it's your only choice, your only option. And so you end up in these ruts where you're just really not feeling it. You're not answering your deeper self. And some people that, that goes on long enough to where you can barely hear yourself anymore. When you're younger or when it's a new wound, you're struggling with it because you really hear your own self and you can't act on it. And so learning to take that fetter off at some point, whether you're still at home or whether your life choices have brought you into a new situation where your home within yourself is challenged by these restrictions in your mind, it's time. What needs healed is it's time to take control and charge of yourself in your life and realize that you get to make choices and go where you want to go. And this gratitude, I think that's a great way to wrangle it all in. Kind of like, sorry about the dog. If you can start your day, or if you're in a tumble going in a downward spiral and you're just having a hard time, you're freaking out, you're feeling heavy, things are just too much. I know it sounds cheesy, but it really does work. Stop, take a breath, and think of 3 things that you're grateful for. I mean, you've got something. You've got your limbs. I mean, if it's that simple, you've got air to breathe. You can breathe. You've got people that care about whatever it is, whether it's big or small. Stop, breathe, and change the direction of the train of your thoughts and your actual physiology in your body by focusing on what you're grateful for. And if you can hang in there with this and just keep going and just keep going, it can completely pull you out of a hole. And hopefully something on that list is you're grateful for yourself. But I have a feeling in this reading that's something that healing will bring you toward. I'm seeing this walk each other home card here. It came out reversed. I'll show you. And I feel like the point of that is that this is something that only you can do for you. You can have support in your life. You can reach out to others, but this really, you'd still have to take their hand and go in another direction. And walk each other home, being reversed, kind of says to me, this is something you need to do for you. This is part of your responsibility in life. This is where you get to sit in the driver's seat and you get to decide, where do you want to go? Where do you want your thoughts to take you? Because your feelings will follow that. If you have a negative mindset, you're going to feel negative. You're going to get to a heavy place where you could even get ill. But if you start working toward a different direction, which is in your ability to do, you can kind of slough some of this stuff off, and it eventually will fall away when you're not focused on it. And as that happens, this alignment card, it's kind of telling me that the thing that pulls you out of alignment is that you haven't learned from the situations the hope that they offer. And I realize that sounds a little weird, because if you're going through tough stuff, it doesn't really necessarily teach you hope. But the mindset you choose to go through that with, whether you decide to be a victim of it or whether you decide to understand it's a circumstance that happened to you and it doesn't necessarily at all define you. It doesn't determine your future. And that's that mindset when you were younger, like, it did determine your future because you weren't in charge. But you are and can learn to be in charge of your own mind and your own self. And that will then have a ripple effect that goes into your life. So I'm looking at this variance card. Let me show you up close. Gorgeous. And I'm feeling like there's something really important in the book as far as language that will help. So I'm just going to pull the book out here and read a little section of this to you. I don't know if it'll focus for you or not, but here we go. The differing perceptions of ego and soul. Today you may not feel like yourself. You and your soul are looking at the same thing, but seeing it differently. Your emotions and reactions are a combination of your thoughts and your soul's thoughts, and when they don't align, you feel wobbly. And here's our alignment card. Variance is a way of explaining the wobble. When you have the same perspective as your soul, things feel right. They may seem satisfactory and easy. No limiting beliefs or patterns are triggered, but there is a feeling that all is well. And your soul will never join you in judgment, blame, or hurt, because it is not the truth of you. How you feel reveals how aligned you are with your soul. If you are experiencing something that doesn't feel quite right, take a breath and come back to your center. You will begin to feel better, inspired to navigate your inner radar, and ready to receive your soul's transmission. Don't believe everything you think. Be mindful of the thoughts you choose to participate with. Are they a help or a hindrance in creating your dreams? For journal work, identify and name the parts of your mind that try to take over. The worrywart, overprotective mother, anger, hurt, etc. Then tell them to be quiet. Once you name them, you will be more able to recognize them, and the more in control of them you are when they rise up. Okay. We have the Surrender to Your Soul card here. And I guess part of calling your power back, it brings your energy back to your core self. Right now, there might be a lot of places you think you need to put it, people demanding it, situations that require it, and you get scattered, and like it says in Lord of the Rings, like Bilbo said, it's not enough butter stretched on too much bread. Okay, so part of self-love and this variance where you're feeling kind of like not in alignment with your own mind, your own, like your thoughts don't necessarily bring you joy. They're not empowering you because they're kind of at odds with how you truly feel. You're kind of feeling like you got one foot in this world and one foot in another world. When you see this Surrender to Your Soul card next to this self-love, and they're both in reverse, it tells me that you're not in a place where you're cherishing your own self and believing your feelings, that your own truth is getting stepped on, possibly because you've been taught to step on it yourself. How teachable are you? When life keeps stomping you down, what do? Do you take it, get up and say, give me another? Do you curl up and want to hide? Or do you take that situation and say, you know, this is bullshit. This happened. It doesn't mean I deserved it. It doesn't mean I have to stay with this and live with this. This means this is the next obstacle in my life that's going to give me growth when I overcome it. This fear is going to become my power. This pain is going to become my power. It's like throwing wood into a fire that's burning. If you're burning hot, it's just going to be fuel. If you're not, it's going to maybe smother the flames. And so taking this deep breath and pulling yourself to yourself and giving your heart some food and some love, taking care of yourself, changing the direction of your thoughts, because you don't get to decide what happens to you, but you do get to decide how you respond to it. And if you can relax into a place within yourself in these hard moments and really listen to your inner guidance, and not just your mind, because your mind is the computer and it's running some of the faulty programs, but listen to your heart. Look at this card here. Okay, there's a heart. There's this sword, this truth, this light, this piercing clarity that runs through it and gives it wings, right? So let's just turn this upright. We just want this upright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you what this book talks about surrender to the soul, because I think it goes so beautifully with the variance card, and give you a flavor for how this deck works. It's a gorgeous deck. Surrender is not a giving up of yourself. Surrender is a joining with your higher, greater, infinite self, your being, your soul. Do you fear losing yourself in the unknown? Do you need reassurance that you're on the right path before letting go of what's familiar and exploring that which you can't see? Life asked you to surrender, yet you saw this request as a sign of your life falling apart. Life asked you to step outside what is comfortable for you, and you made your discomfort mean that you're sacrificing your will. Life asked you to accept each moment as it arrives, and you thought this meant yielding to the demands of another. This card reminds you that you cannot get to where you want to be without accepting where you are. How can you know the path if you deny where you stand? Today, know that your acceptance of this moment is not a submission of your will. Release your resistance today and stop fighting against the current of your life. Give up your need to control. As you do, hear the message of your soul as gentle impulses of inspiration flickering within your heart. It is in this state of surrender that you can connect with your greater infinite self and become more powerfully whole. And I think that is the core of our message here. I'm seeing this forgive the unforgivable. And sometimes once people do things and sometimes horrible things to us. Sometimes just merely thoughtless, but they break us down. And we have the choice to carry that with us or to let that define us and think that that means something about us. Or to turn around and realize that it isn't about us, that people that make these choices and have these negative behaviors are lost in themselves. They can't cope with the world. They haven't been trained in the ability to love. So they probably are people who haven't experienced a lot of grace and kindness and certainly not internalized it. So their compassion is lacking because they don't have any of their own to themselves. So you can look at them and say, I'm going to let that go. That's not about me. It's horrible. It hurt me. I mean, maybe, trigger warning, maybe you were raped. Maybe you were abused. Maybe you were abandoned. But that wasn't about you. Maybe you were an adult, but maybe you were just a child. And you didn't have the care that you needed. Your needs weren't tended to. Someone wasn't focused on helping you become all you can be and protecting you and helping you grow. And that's because they didn't have the bandwidth to do it. People who make those choices appear to be choosing themselves over you, but truly they don't choose themselves, because anyone who embraces themselves with self-love, compassion is automatic, because once you've experienced your own grace, everyone else is on the list to receive it, because none of us are perfect, and it's okay. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to get it wrong sometimes. And if you weren't taught that, carrying this around, eventually you start repeating these patterns in your life. And you learn how to treat yourself by how you were treated. And it's supposed to be other people learn how to treat you by what you allow and how you treat yourself. But that doesn't come until adulthood and you've built a stable base. So this forgive the unforgivable might be about forgiving someone else. And it doesn't make it okay what they did. It sets you free from it. It doesn't mean that you'll allow people to hurt you again. It means you're not going to be defined by their negativity, depravity, their lack of compassion, their inability to give love in this world or to receive it. But that if this is something that you need to forgive yourself for because you've begun to internalize those messages and repeat those behaviors, when it finally dawns on you how much of it is something that you've recreated in your life, and we often step into relationships that mirror what we're comfortable and familiar with, you can end up kind of getting angry, and anger's a good emotion. It helps us. It's a motivating emotion if you don't get lost in it. And forgive yourself. You can only be as evolved as you were when you made your choices. There's no shame in that. And now that you have that understanding, once you get past that sorrow and you just give yourself some grace or give someone else some grace and let yourself be free of that, that's when your power comes in for you to take yourself in another direction. Until you lay that down, you cannot be captain of your own ship, because these things will pull you about. They will create a dissonance in your mind. There will be confusion. You'll feel off kilter because you're pulled in different directions. And it's a process. It's not like a light turns on and it goes away. It's something we learn every day, every time we take a step to care for ourselves, to live in gratitude, to, choose love, to be at home within ourselves, to surrender to your own soul and to listen to what your heart has to say, and to make choices that are in alignment with your heart, not just your mind. And if there's a problem between the two, I'm not saying follow emotional responses. I'm saying there's a voice within you that stays true, that is always in alignment with your higher self, that is always in alignment with the love that created all beings. And if you can tap into that, it won't lead you astray. And if there's a battle between patterns in your mind and negative thinking and fear and pain and unforgiveness and bitterness and, confusion, stop, breathe. There'll be a meditation at the end that there's many meditations you can find online, or if you, just slowly learn the ability to spend some time with yourself and be kind to yourself and give yourself permission to have the space to grieve or to do something joyful, or color a picture, play with a cat, whatever it is for you. Take a walk, take a bath, just, hold your own hand, whatever it is. Take the time for you to get to this place where your energy is pulled into your core and you can then feel your truth and take steps as you build faith in yourself. And we had a faith card, have faith in reverse. If you have trouble knowing which way to go, this is why that struggle is there, because you're getting pulled between the mind and the heart. There's patterns, there's things you learned, and then there's this truth that's always with you. And if it's broken, sometimes it can be hard to see through shattered glass. But if you lay the burdens down and give yourself compassion and cut people loose from your energy pattern that have hurt you, you will begin to hear this frequency, this resonance within you that can then bring you to a place of peace that you can make choices from. And eventually your mind will get the picture. And if you do exercises where you spend time in gratitude, your mind will heal. Your mind will catch up and will become in this alignment, and you will start to manifest more streamlined with the truth of your life. And this soul is magnetic and in reverse here. So I'm feeling like you bring into your life the kinds of experiences that you attract what you resonate with, if this makes sense. It's the law of attraction, the law of manifesting, that what you believe, you will receive. So you can think about this like, two people can look at the same situation and one can have a positive response and one can have a negative response. And most of life is attitude and experience. So they may have both been in a car accident. And one of them, is excited about the insurance payout and et cetera, et cetera. The other one's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe these horrible things always happen to me, et cetera, et cetera. They had the same experience, but they didn't experience it the same way. And so their perception of their life influences, no matter what happens in life, it influences how you live in that moment and what it looks like to you. So if you can wake up tomorrow, 2 weeks from now, having practiced this and have the same exact day you would have otherwise, but experience it in a completely different way in which you are empowered in your life and you can overcome the challenges that come to you and you can make choices that bring you joy and you can stop and take the power of your mind and make your moment anytime, anywhere, anyhow you want. And that will attract, and the more you do this in alignment with your truth and light, the more your life will bear that abundance out, will manifest that. I know that's a lot of people already know that, but sometimes we need to be reminded. And I'm not quite sure why this card came in yet. The sexual arts, maybe this, we're just going to set that aside till it makes sense. So let's see if we can pull a couple qualifiers. What card do we really need to look into? I feel like your soul is magnetic, has something more to it. Let's see. Maybe what has this confusion been drawing into your life? Spirals of manifestation. Okay, yeah, so it's been bringing on... Wow, what a great rundown of cards, huh? Spirals of manifestation, seeing the true you and inspiration. It has been, and against the grain. Wow, that's a whole lot to unpack right there. What it's been manifesting in your life. Sometimes this, if you think of a spiral, you know, you can be climbing up the mountain, you can be flushed down the toilet, but there's a pattern, and you're constantly coming back to the same point at a higher or lower level, or an inner or outer level. And so this is a repetitive pattern in your life. And this pattern, it will keep happening. You can choose to be on the down spiral or the up spiral, but you will continue to go through cycles in life. Seeing the true you, and I feel like there's something in the book that would be, I don't know if you can see these cards. Seeing the true you. Where's my Oracle Rebel deck? This is Lana Fairchild's Sacred Rebel Oracle deck. Someday I will have links in the description for you to get your hands on those, and I try to go through and find the best deals that help the artists. Let's see. I don't know if that will focus. We'll give it a shot. Sometimes we believe what others tell us we are, as though the self we see reflected back to us through their eyes is truth. Yet the accuracy of a reflection depends on the clarity of that which is doing the reflecting. If the receiver forms any opinion about what is perceived, then what is reflected back to us will at best be distorted. It is not necessarily through ill will, it is just the mechanics of the situation. Even the moon reflects the sun in varying degrees of fullness and clarity. We can learn something of the nature of the sun from the moon, but not as much as through direct perception. This oracle has come to you because you have been putting rather too much faith in the reflections others have of you, to the point that you might not be honoring all that you are and all that you are becoming, because you believe too little of yourself. There may be those around you that are able to reflect you more faithfully and even help you see more of your own greatness and beauty. These are the souls blessed with inner stillness. In the clear waters of their ocean of consciousness, you can come to recognize yourself with clearer perception. However, there are those who have not tended to their own ocean and are unable to be still enough to genuinely receive and reflect your light back to you. There is no judgment here. Each takes the path of self-healing that is available and appropriate at any given time. However, to attempt to see the magnificence of a sun in a very partial moon does not make too much sense. And I don't think I will read this whole thing to you, or these videos will get long, but I just really love the books and the authors and what they have to share. If what I've read to you so far resonates, I encourage you to get your hands on this deck. It is meaty and beautiful. This oracle is nudging you into that preparation for which you have the experience of truly beholding yourself. All judgment, fear, and doubt will fall away, and you will just know yourself to be sacred. Then you will be asked to embrace the deeper journey of the sacred rebellion against judgment and fear, and into passionate creativity and unconditional trust in life. The special message for you is, if you are getting confused about who you are and your motives or actions based on what others are saying or how they are responding to you, step back. In your quest to be a responsible person, you may unintentionally be taking on the feelings of others and making their reflections of you more important than they are in truth. More often than not, reflections are more about the state of the reflector than what is being reflected. Let those external perceptions go. Can you just acknowledge yourself? Do so and be free. Say with feeling, I now break any contract I have ever made with another, consciously or unconsciously, that has given them the power over me, the power over my sense of self, the authority to approve or reject me or anything about me, including my voice, body, creativity, spirituality, and way of living. Of my own free will, I now choose to directly perceive my own inner beauty and turn within with kindness and compassion to see myself through the eyes of unconditional love. So be it. So right in line with the message that we've been receiving all through this reading, let's see if there are any other cards to pull out here. Where's that deck? I am looking for my Star Tarot. There we are. Star Tarot. Wow. Okay. Five of Swords. Knight of Cups. Two of Pentacles. Five of Swords is conflict. It is struggle. It's reversed, so maybe coming out of a place of inner struggle and conflict with others. The Knight of Cups reversed and the Two of Pentacles. So trying to find some balance. So there's an inner offer on standby to you, always available to you, of love. It is the true seed of all creation, of all things that exist. And if we stop struggling, and swords are mental, they're in the mind, if we let this struggle go, but we're not willing to, we need to be willing to receive this inner peace. And to do that, we have to stop trying to juggle all of the elements around us. We are not responsible for the circumstances life gives us, the choices given to us to make. We're not responsible for other people. We're responsible to other people by being responsible for ourselves. So when you stop trying to find the middle line between what works for everyone else and what scraps we can get out of that, and you step back from that and you go, who am I in this situation? And you find your balance, and you give, through self-love, through, manifesting your own soul's desires, through this inspiration, you see this light kind of becomes you. There's these bees. I don't know if you can see this. It's like this honeycomb of the mind, this light, and the sweetness comes in doing the work that actually matters to you. Let your inner guidance flow through you into the choices you make in life, not based on what everyone else would like to see the outcome be or what works for them. That's their job. You are only here to live your truth. And I'm not saying that we have permission to hurt other people and stomp people out of the way. What I'm saying is that when you are honest and true to yourself and you make choices from a core place of beauty and truth, and that's your reality, that light will spread out and will affect other people in a way far greater than if you had tried to make the situation work for them, because that then steals their consequences for them to take power in their life and focus on their joy. And if we all just stopped, came to our center place, connected to the thing that connects us all, and that love and peace inside of us, and made choices based on that, the compassion would flow naturally, grace would flow naturally, and we would all see through the eyes of love and receive, like the book with the rebels about the mirror, and how the reflection says more about them than you. Like, live your own truth, let the fallout happen, and other people can make the same choice. And that's how we're going to bring everybody up a notch in vibration and bring alignment. So I'll stop harping on that. But and that brings the Three of Wands. When we do that, we can see this burst of growth and light. This means that you'll have this attitude of gratitude. You'll have your soul is magnetic in the right. We'll turn this one upright. We'll turn up, have faith, that you can start believing as you're receiving and manifesting what you believe, that you can start expecting good things in your life, because you decided your filter will be to receive things well in your life and to focus on the things that you do have and not on the lack. And that will bring more into your life. And that this light and this beauty shines out to all around. It brings life. It's far more powerful than trying to accommodate others and not feed yourself. No one's on the right path then. So this Three of Wands is from your inspiration will come a greater ability to have hope and positive expectation in your life and bring about the changes that you want and the experiences that you want, and to bring love into your life from within out, so that once you can receive it within yourself, you can then fully receive it and give it with others. Because without that, you can't. So feel at home within yourself, love yourself. This against the grain right here. We'll stick this one back under here. Let's just turn this self-love around as a prophetic act that you will get there. But against the grain, this is going to cause waves. This healing, people are not going to be excited about this healing in your life. They like it the way it is. They like you taking care of things for them. They like you not owning yourself so that they can own you. They like, maybe not consciously, but it makes things less complicated for other people when you're willing to take the blame or when you're willing to clean up the mess. So as you start to pull back from spreading your energy too thin, there's going to be some dark moments where other people don't understand that, and they're going to try and pull you back in. And you're just going to know within yourself, you're going to see it more clearly and plainly for what it is. I don't know if you're familiar with crawfish in a bucket analogy, but when you got a bucket full of crawfish, you don't need to put a lid on it, because when one tries to climb out, the other ones try to use it to climb out and pull it back in, and nobody gets out. So you'll start to see that dynamic in your life and where your energy is being tugged on and where those ties are binding you. And as you come to your place of peace, this inner clarity will cut those ties, and there just won't be that pull anymore after a while. It'll just, once you see it clearly, it won't have the same power over you. And that will confuse other people. You may start requiring other people treat you better because you're going to treat yourself better, and you're not going to want to tolerate anything less. And that might mean some people exit your life, or they step up, or you teach them how to do it. If there's children or even just people that are undeveloped in this area in their life, it might be a blessing. They can choose if it's a blessing to them or if it's a problem for them. And the people that it's a problem for you're growing away from them, and that's okay. You're not abandoning anyone. You're just not abandoning yourself anymore. And that's the truest gift you can give yourself and anyone in your life. So go against the grain. It's going to feel weird in your mind to step into this new place. It's going to be like stopping a train and making it go the other direction. But it's going to bring the value and the freedom into your life that leads you, your joy will lead you to more joy. So feel free to break some eggs. The omelet will be yummy. Are there any other cards that want to come out here? Forgive the unforgivable. Knight of Wands in reverse. I get one more clarifier on that Knight of Wands. Forgive the unforgivable. So, Knight of Wands can be a very passionate, fiery card. It's in reverse. This can also be the player of the deck. Oh, there we go. Knight of Wands. We have the Ten of Swords reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed. So this is maybe blocking coming to the end of a cycle. So this unforgiveness, it appears as though there have been a million little cuts. There has been blow after blow after blow, always kept you on your guard until you're just exhausted. And this needs to end. But it's not you that needs to end. It's this cycle that needs to end. And each of these swords can come out with forgiveness. Whatever that looks like for you. Forgiveness doesn't have to be logical. You could forgive yourself for something that's completely irrational. But if it's something that you feel guilt or at fault for, whether it's just your perception or something that really happened, whether someone else forgives you for what you've done or not, it's something that you do for yourself anyway. And hanging on to these things, whether through guilt or shame or just exhaustion or not knowing another way, has kind of slowed you from making the progress in your life. So you haven't taken, each of these moments is an opportunity to change directions and take small steps in a different direction, which will eventually lead to leaps and bounds in a new direction fueled by your passion. But you have to start taking the little steps to get the momentum to take the big steps. And it all adds up. So letting this cycle go, whether it's disengaging from things in your life that wound you regularly on a constant basis, or carrying things around with you that have wounded you and re-wounding yourself with them every time you think of it or expect that to happen again, or, whatever it is for your life that's been hurting you, letting that cycle end and taking consistent steps toward this new concept of living out from a place of truth and manifesting in your real life from a place of joy and peace will bring you this powerful charge forward. See this phoenix up here? From these ashes, look at what will rise. So that's really hopeful. I'm gonna let that stay there. What we really want is to just be able to charge forward in our life, directed by our inner compass and guidance, with full faith in our ability to overcome struggles in our life and to achieve whatever we've set our heart on, whatever our purpose is, whatever fuels us. I'm going to speak a blessing. So I'm going to speak stability and balance and truth to your spirit right now. The truth about you is that you are made of light. You come from love. You are here on this planet to experience and to share and to be part of the beautiful creation all around you, and to breathe in life and to breathe out life. That is your true purpose here. Not just to give, but to receive. It is a cyclical flow. And so I believe that you are going to overcome the stress and the pain of your life. I just speak love, sound mind, sound body, peace in the situations that you're involved in, lightness to the burdens and the loads that you carry, grace to your heart as you forgive yourself and others and set yourself free, and strength in the future as you come against the resistance in this new growth and you make leaps and bounds, that you show others the way, and that you will live in grace and truth, always learning a deeper and better connection to love. Thank you for joining me here, the Mystic Monarch channel, and I look forward to speaking with you again. Please like, share, subscribe if this resonated with you, or if you know someone who it might bless. Please comment. Let me know if you have any questions, if you would like to request a reading on something having to do with this or otherwise. I do personal readings. Right now my website is not complete, so through Facebook you can send me a personal message and we can start the process there. Be happy, be well, be love. Until next time.